Hey man, Clog here. I had this idea. I was just kind of messing with Act 2, trying to clean up myself because I've just not been doing very well in runs recently as I'm getting back into it. But Act 2 for Hundo specifically. So we have to turn in the bottle to Howell anyway, right? And so we're passing by him. And so normally we do this, we let the game slide as you end up about here-ish. And right here, let me make sure that's working, is where we pop the potion. So let's see how long this takes to pop the potion and go to the door. And this is, we're just gonna take one, say it's about average. Okay, 7.23. That's not super long. 7 seconds of a potion kind of sucks because that's 7 seconds at roughly double speed. But if we're to do this whole sequence, right, we're doing it just like we would do it in Hundo. I have to actually start the timer. Then, you know, technically I'm popping the potion a little early. I'm getting a little bit more benefit out of that because I wouldn't have that movement control in the air of Roberta. We're talking 9.5 seconds, just about. Now, the idea I had actually came to the fact that the walls on this, and I've already tried it to the branch. We can jump to the branch as well, but I don't think it's super useful. We can just do a regular super on Howell. I did not mean to pop the potion there. And get straight over into this. And if I just come over to Howell and I just time this, right? Just a regular super, so a neutral and then a forward. And that's 6.4 seconds. So that's, what is that, 0.8 off if I'm just mental really quickly picking that back up. I think it was like 7.23 or something. That's like almost a second of time save of not using potion. And I could pop the potion as soon as I land on the ground here, which, I don't know, let's just get an idea of that real quick. And that wasn't a super good super, and doing a super after hitting my start button here is a little odd because I have to readjust where my fingers are. Okay, so let's just say 6. So 6.2 seconds. Or sorry, 1.2 seconds of time save. So that's just a little thing we can do there. And, you know, we're comparing that to the 9.5 versus doing like this. And like, that was pretty bad. I had to do a second try, and we only lost a second, but we delayed when we're popping the potion. Let's say I pop the potion. Bang. 7.97. So that's about a second and a half of time save, and we're saving... Let's say we do this. I did start my timer because I'm a little silly. About here. We are saving just about... Where did I land? Kind of like bottom fifth of the stairs. About there. It was about 6.2, I believe, because I ended time late because I missed the button. Let's check one more time. We are saving just about 6 seconds of potion. Which, mind you, this is at double speed. We're already almost getting the potion for Hundo into the clock tower. We're into that main palace room with really, really good movement and a really good jube and all that. So... ideally, we could get this into the clock tower, maybe to pushing the first weight at most. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but the fact that the super is already faster than running with a potion, and we're delaying the potion, so we're getting more raw value out of it, I think this is probably something we at least start trying. The super's not hard, again, if people haven't done a super and they're seeing it and they're curious. The principle is you're holding L2 and R1. And you're jumping, so X, you're hitting select, and then right after, you're hitting square. So it should look like that. And this will open Howell's text box behind this menu. If I close this menu, assuming I did it right, as soon as I close this menu without doing anything else, his text box should pop up. Like that. So that will reset our jump just like any normal text jump. Now, if I do that, and then I go up to quit, open that, and then hit triangle to close it, I'm going to not hold forward. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. If I close this menu now, his text box will be gone. But you see, I was still in my like L2 stanced up position, where Robert is standing like this, meaning that I got my jump back, as I can jump like that. So with supers, the idea is you can do, with a standard super, you can do one neutral jump like that. And so from here, I would start holding up on the stick, press X to open the quit menu, press triangle, and then I'm going to press triangle again to close this, and I'm going to do the same set of inputs while continuously holding up. So I'm going to jump, hit select, and then square again. Just like that. And then press up on the stick again, open the quit menu, close it, and this time, that's all I have to do, so I'm just going to close it with triangle and spam X. And that's your jump. That's all you have to do for a super. And it's not super bad. If you're curious about ultras, it's going to be really hard on Howell here since he has a really short hitbox and talkbox. It's not impossible, but that's just adding a second forward moving jump onto it. The only thing you really need to get over him is a good super. Honestly, you can stand directly on top of him and do it. It doesn't have to be super good either. The biggest thing is as long as you get that second jump as soon as possible, you're pretty much going to make it over that wall without bonking it too much and losing too much speed. So yeah, I think this can help us squeak a teeny tiny bit more time save out of either not the other category, sorry, out of this category. And I just think it's something we should start implementing, you know, start thinking about. Maybe there's other weird things we can do here. Since I mentioned it, you can see the stick is right over there. If I super right here off Howell, I can land actually directly on the stick. Now, I haven't timed it. It'd be pretty complicated to try and time fence clip to getting the stick versus that to getting the stick, because there's so many factors with the raw movement up to Howell and the raw movement and how quickly you're getting fence clip. I don't think it's faster than fence clip. However, I think it is a valuable option for the people that aren't doing fence clip or aren't consistent with it. So that's another thing we can add in as well, and that can go for any category because you skip the climbing is very slow. I don't remember the actual speed of the climbing, if it even tells us. It doesn't, but we can look at our Y value. Pretty slow at fastest. It seems like it's about 3-4 units per second, if I had to guess. And then you come here, you get the text box, and you drop down. But then you've already got Howell's thing for any other category, his bottle. So then when you're coming back, you can do another super off of him, and then you have a ton of speed. You saw up there, I was at 21 speed. If I don't jump there, I can just slide right along this and then into the cutscene with Jordana and Saradar and the guards and whatnot, and the Kachik. So I think this is a really valuable option. You can still do this super anyway, even if Howell has not given you the quest yet in the bottle. The problem being the fact that if you miss the quest, you're kind of boned and you have to go back. So you either have to wait to hear the sound cue or just kind of YOLO it and send it and just trust you hit it. Which isn't always easy, especially if it's the first pause of the area, because it lags longer. It's about a second longer, I think, just off of feeling. I haven't timed it. So just keep those things in mind, or doing a dummy pause. But that's definitely something we can look into implementing. So, yeah, thanks. See y'all.